everybody, and welcome to a slightly different episode of Kentauri Dreams. Today's episode will be all about the interstellar ship, the Atlas. This is my second generation ship, which is going to bring many colony parts to Narath. And, well, it will have various purposes that I'll explain later in the video. But as you can see, I've just added a magnetic shield to the front of the ship, which will protect us during our travels from strong... it will protect us from, like, tiny little things hitting us at the speed of light. And here we just finished up the back section. Well, the habitation section. And this is our first iteration of the ship. I say first because there are actually two iterations of the ship that we ended up designing. And this was an interesting one. It had a very interesting design, but after something very bad, after this, you'll realise that it's not actually that good of a design. But here we swapped over to Maz Colony to start building our Maz launch site. Building some solar panels, some geostatic domes, some more geostatic domes, a pipeline, another slightly larger pipeline, a really, really huge pipeline, and a reactor. And another reactor, and yet another geostatic dome. This is a water filterer, and that was just a small habitation module that you saw. This was a railgun, but I decided against using it. And, well, we began constructing the launch site. I couldn't get the grass to turn to, like, grey, which was annoying. And, well... the reason why we're using this launch site is because I didn't really want to bother with setting up an entire thing with extraplanetary launch pads. Plus, Maz can already create material kits and specialized parts, so it can already create that using its various modules. And here we found a really weird glitch, where the spaceplane hangar was kind of like neon, but it stopped once we reloaded. And well, here we are, just setting up, getting ready for our first test launch from the new launch site. And as you can see, in a moment, oh my god, in a moment, we just try and get a good angle of it, and in a moment we shoot off. And I realised just then, this thing has way too much thrust-to-weight ratio. At full thrust, a thrust-to-weight ratio, it has 158. So... this made me seriously reconsider what I was going to be making. Now, I cut out a bit of stupid stuff that I was doing, because really I didn't do much. And, well, here we began designing our second generation SSTOs, which will be an essential part of this mission, because the Omen 20s, which are the model of SSTO that I brought on Artemis, are bad, to say the least. They're really bad. You've seen how difficult they are to land, and sometimes I've even needed to use cheats to land them. So yeah, fortunately we're gonna need to build a much newer ship. And here I was just checking through all the different engines to see if I could find a good one. Because that Kugelblitz drive is the most powerful and generally the best engine in the game. However, of course, we can't really use it given the situation. And the fact that this ship is actually very small. It's smaller than the Artemis in length. Actually, no, it might be a bit bigger than it's bigger than the Artemis in length, But the Artemis had over 350 parts. This came out under 100 parts, which is incredibly low for an interstellar ship. Then again, the Omen 20s are incredibly complex SSTOs, and I had 3 of them on the Artemis, compared to the 2 space planes I have here, plus these 2 space planes are much simpler. Plus, the Artemis had to have all that intricate design for the staging. Here we just have 4 huge fuel tanks and a massive antimatter ring. So, yeah, I can kind of see why the Artemis had so many more parts and this didn't. Plus, the Artemis had to do way more. The Artemis had to do an entire grand tour, and it had to be able to sustain those Kerbals. It had to have cryo-freezing, because I knew that the trip was going to take quite a while. And so, yeah, it ended up as quite a complex ship, the Artemis. This one, as I said, however, is much less complex. And, well, here we're getting ready for the test launch from the launch site on Mars. And, well, the first test launch was weird, to say the least. Like, I don't even know what happened. And, of course, we need to do a second launch. I didn't quite get it right. It was kind of wobbly. But, well, eventually we managed to turn on the engine, but we ended up, like, I ended up reverting because I would have crashed into the ground. Anyways, we got a cool shot of it flying up from the ground, and, well, you know, it was able to circularize. And after this, I can confirm that this ship will be built in segments from Artemis colony and then shipped up to orbit.